Duel Review is brought to you by NexusDigitalComics.com. Alright guys, today we're going to be talking about Fantastic Four.
World's Greatest Heroes.
Alright, I'm RJ.
And I'm Nick.
Let's get to it. Alright, so today is Thursday the 28th,
Yes, it is.
and we're going to be talking about Fantastic Four.
World's Greatest Heroes.
I guess we say that, especially because you might not know which one it is.
Yeah, I think there were multiple
This is actually a really short series. I'm not sure if they've done more, but
26 episodes.
we watched it on Netflix,
Right.
and so that was like 2 seasons. Hopefully there's more because it's actually quite good.
I don't think there's going to be more.
No, that's too bad. Fantastic Four is not something that I've ever really bonded with. It's not one of my favorite children.
How many children have you had?
I don't know, and I apparently don't like them all.
Wow. Mean father.
But it's really good. Tell us what you think.
Okay. I did enjoy it. The reason you may have missed it, and this is where it gets kind of funny, is its airtime was split up so sporadically it's not even funny. For instance, it started off on Toonami in 2006. Then it moved to just a regular Cartoon Network show in 2007. And then Nicktoons aired it in 2009, all episodes.
Now you have no excuse, though, because it's on Netflix. So
Right, it is on Netflix. You should watch it.
that's how we found it.
Right. So yeah, that's why you may have missed it. That's why it probably didn't do so well, because it wasn't consistent. You need to be consistent with these kind of things.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I loved everything about that show.
Yeah,
The
so
voice acting, was great.
the voice acting is superb. I wouldn't change a thing.
Yeah,
Reed Richards is a little stodgy, exactly
Right.
how he should be. There's a great interplay between the Thing and Johnny.
Yeah, Johnny Storm. Yeah.
And Sue's not bad at all.
No, not at all.
There's a very distinct anime influence.
Yes.
Manga kind of influence with their features, sharp features, slender features.
Yeah.
Except for the Thing, of course. But it's really enjoyable, even if you don't necessarily care about the characters. I think it was really good.
This series came out at around the same time as the first Fantastic Four movie, and that's probably why they were like, I don't want to associate myself with that movie that's gonna flop. And I know some people liked Fantastic Four. I didn't. It didn't.
Yeah, I didn't.
The only thing I liked was the Invisible Woman.
I didn't hate it, but I didn't like it either. But I'm thankful for it. If it did spawn this cartoon, I'm thankful for it.
I don't think it spawned it. I think it played in conjunction.
I mean, they were like, hey, we're going to make a movie, so let's release an animation and the toys at the same time.
Okay, okay.
So it's really, really well done. I can't say that enough.
No, I agree.
I was really impressed.
I liked they're sporting some new costumes that we may not have seen before.
Yeah, new logo, kind of revamped. Well, I mean, it's a little slanted forward kind of thing. It's
but I thought that really worked too, because it's a lot better than just the blue and white, And Ben Grimm has the 4 spray painted almost on his chest, and I like that. What else?
It really quickly gets you into their character.
Right.
We have Ben struggling with his
looks and
with his power, his change.
Johnny Storm is living it up like he should.
Yeah, he's very anime in that. He's like this uber cool guy, but he's really quirky and stupid and silly, and he's got a real immature side. And he and Sue and he and Ben Grimm, and I mean, it's just really good character
they have a great
development.
dynamic.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it'd be interesting to know how. I mean, if it just influenced about the creators of the show, and how much they were influenced by the anime. Because to me, it seems very clear that it is an anime.
Right.
They took in a lot of that. But I mean, it's definitely American. It's definitely an American animation. It's hard to come up with anything else to say other than you need to watch it. It's really good.
Well, as far as story, each episode is like old school where it's like it's a self-contained thing. If the overlying story doesn't really branch out, like
Episodic or episodic.
Yeah, it's episodic. But usually, even with most episodic shows, there's an overlying plot line to follow. This kind of doesn't have that, so it's childish in that sense. But each plot that they do go into is very adult almost. Like with Ben Grimm's looks and with Johnny Storm going missing and Sue going crazy for her brother. It was a lot more adult than I expected it to be. I thought it was going to be childish.
Yeah, it is, but it does have the interjection of childish.
Right.
But that's like the classic anime. That's what I keep coming back to.
Right.
And they do use the same villains a lot, but that kind of keeps you grounded, even though the villains are the weak part to me. Mole Man.
Yeah, I didn't care for that.
But some of the creatures are cool, though.
Yeah.
So they do some fun things with it. And it's just a lot of fun.
The only thing that I liked about that episode, actually, maybe not the only thing, but...
Well, you haven't seen all of them then, because he comes up quite a few times.
The first time, you're right. The first time you saw Mole Man, I liked when Ben Grimm had him and he was talking for him. That was pretty funny.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of little quirky humor, and it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's clever.
And I think it's probably good for all ages, too. It's not something that is completely immature,
right?
But it's definitely accessible to kids. Too.
Again, we enjoyed it, and we're almost in. I'm almost in my 30s.
And... slapstick humor, some of it, but yeah, it's really good. So, drop whatever you're doing.
Do it now.
Go to
Drop
Netflix.
It now.
Go to Netflix, and unless it's like scalding water and you have a baby underneath you or something.
Oh yeah, don't do that then. No, that's bad.
So go watch it. You won't be sorry.
Right. Did you wanna reference in any of the Fantastic Four movies, even with this? Since we're on Fantastic Four, and Fantastic Four, the problem that I have with Fantastic Four is, like he said, it's so hard to get interested in the characters. This was Stan Lee's like first love child, right?
Yeah, more or less.
And it's like, these are the ones whose characters I could care the least about.
Yeah, they're the most generic. I mean, well, I guess they're generic now, but it's like, hey, let's have a woman that does invisibility. Let's have a guy that turns into fire. Let's have a guy that's super tough, and let's have a guy. I mean, so they did develop interesting dynamics in Ben Grimm and somewhat in Reed Richards, just because he has that intellect and he's always kind of battling.
Right.
But yeah, they seem very one note.
Right.
Whereas X-Men and future superheroes that would be created, Spider-Man and whatever, they have a lot of things going on. They have their powers and they have their attitude and their whatever. So it does rudimentary.
Right. I think you bring up a good point in that what the Fantastic Four doesn't have is that alternate identity persona, because they're very out in the open. That's definitely so it's like. They don't really struggle with that in this animated series, though. They do kind of get into that. They have neighbors who don't like them. They have adoring fans who sit outside the building. It brings in what the characters lack, I guess. And I think that should be applauded.
Yeah, and if they modeled live action movies after this, they need to stop doing the star power thing.
Yeah.
If we look at Thor, they brought in What's Her Bucket. Who cares?
What's Her Bucket?
Yeah, What's Her Bucket? Natalie Portman. It's like
wait,
star power.
Which one are you talking about?
Thor. I just saying. Thor. They brought in.
Yeah, you said Thor, and I heard Ben Grimm for some reason. And I was like, what?
I think I said Thor. Rewind. Look at it. They brought in the star power. No need to. The guy who played Thor was great. The supporting actors were great, and they could have been better in that film. And then, like the X-Men. Say what you want to about Hugh Jackman. I mean, he's really good in that. But he was fairly unknown when he did that role.
You're right. I think he had just done Van Helsing.
No, that was after.
Was it?
That was after the first one.
Oh.
I'm almost positive. Anyway, they need to do that. They need to bring in fresh faces or little-known faces. People that aren't already attached with I don't know. You know, it's like you bring in Julia Roberts to play Mystique or something. You know, that seems like something they would do.
So
It
weird.
would be horrible. But it would be like, you know, she's on billboards and everybody knows who she is. Or like what's her name? Jennifer Aniston. Yeah. Bring her, I don't know. Like
Jubilee.
some kind of, that would be horrible casting. But
fireworks.
you know, like Jessica Alba, she was big at that point. That's why they brought her in. But she did have Dark Angel, which was, I thought it was a pretty good show. And
right.
So she did show her chops a little bit there, but they completely abandoned anything about Sue Storm, really, for that casting.
Yeah.
They shouldn't have done that. She could have been some other superhero or whatever. But who knows? When they made the Final Fantasy, they had, made the X-Men and pretty much that's it.
Final Fantasy?
Or, Final Fantasy. FF, the Fantastic Four. So who knows? Maybe they were thinking, we're not going to get very far, so we need star power or whatever.
Right.
But if they reboot that, like they're going to be doing Spider-Man and all that, they need to do the same thing.
Yeah, fresh faces, and I think that's really what works with superhero movies is fresh faces. For some reason, we quickly identify a person based on the superhero they played.
Right.
So like if Leonard Nimoy played the next Superman, he won't be Spock anymore. He'll be Superman.
Well, he'd still be Spock.
Yeah, he'd still be Galvatron, and now
perhaps the thing that I like Galvatron. Oh yeah, right, from the animated.
Yeah.
Perhaps the thing that I did like about those movies, the Fantastic Four movies, was Chris Evans. I thought he was pretty good, Johnny Storm. I thought he worked pretty good.
I think so too. I'm
weirded out that he's playing Captain America. We'll see if he's really good. He just doesn't seem old enough. He just seems so boyish.
But you see the.
Yeah.
And I mean, I guess
he's just very authoritative.
Right.
That casting Chris Evans, is kind of like, oh, this dreamy, handsome.
Yeah. I agree with that.
But maybe he'll do great. We'll find out.
Because at the timing of this, we haven't watched it yet.
Yeah.
At the timing of taping.
When does it release?
I don't know.
Last week. All right, guys. All right. Well, that's our take on. Fantastic Four.
And others. Oh, I'm sorry. World's Greatest Heroes. I don't expect you to go like, oh, what's it called? What's the subtitle?
All right, guys.
Bye.
Watch it.
Sometimes you just gotta take your time. Ah, it took too much time.
It's like I could have been like around you.
Oh, that hit the door. Wait, I gotta do something cool. Wait. Oh, that was nowhere near there. Hold on, I almost had it. Oh, that was close.
That was not even close.
It gazed it.
Yeah, gazed it?
Gazed it.
Gazed it. It totally did gaze it.
There you go. Gazed it, like gazed at me.
Next up, a look at Capcom versus Marvel series.
What'd you say? Where's that from? Oh, Ninja Turtles. It's like Leonardo's on the ground and Shredder goes, he dies. Weapons. And then he gets rid of a little bit.
You mean the movies?
Yeah, the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movie.
I don't remember that.
You don't remember that?
I kind of never liked Shredder.
What?
He's just goofy to me.
No, man, he was great.
In the movies? He was like
I think he was
big
great
and
in the
clunky.
movies. I still like them.
Well, you do like those guys.
I do.
World's Greatest Heroes. Is it Earth's Greatest Heroes or
World's Greatest Heroes?
I think that the Avengers is Earth's Greatest Heroes. Or Earth's Mightiest Heroes.
They're not very...
World's Greatest Heroes.
Yep.